Welcome to Shorty SuperCoach. What's going on, guys? Hope you're well. Taking a look at the first week of the buys. So all we want is 18 players. Ideally, if I can sneak out 19, that'd be good. But as always, it's a big teams coming up. So bit of a slightly later preview. Got caught up in the gym a little bit, but I also went to the butcher's after work today, and you guys might have remembered me talking about me butcher, mate. Love them down there in Grovey. Not the, good stuff, but it's not just a good quality food, mate. I go for the banter. You walk in, you get a raging reception, you talk footy. Well, I had the opposite today when I went home. So I was a bit pressed for time, and I didn't know if I'd make the cut-off time from where I was travelling from work to the butcher. So I went to the local one that's close to work. Been there before. Solid food. Again, nothing wrong with the food, mate. But the banter, mate, non-existent. In fact, you walk in there, and it's just a couple of blokes who you feel like they're living the worst day of their life over and over again. They seem like they fucking hate their job. They give you nothing. You walk in, and the vibe's just flat as a tack, mate. I walk in today. Hey, mate, how you going? All right, what do you want? I just having a bit of a look for the moment, mate. Don't even know if it replied, but then I was like, oh, yep, just get a cordon bleu, mate, a couple of wrist soles. Same bag? Yeah, same bag, fine, mate. Just a bit of silence. How's the day been? Yeah, bit busy, mate. Sick. Had a good day too, bro. It's cool, man. Nothing. That'll be 7:40, mate. Yeah, okay, just on the card, bro. Get me out of here. I was like, shit. Fuck me. I'm prepared to give the benefit of the doubt, but I've been there probably 3 times. Same dude or the other dude, fucking hating life. I mean, shit. Granted, I get him at the end of the day. Maybe it's a long day being a butcher. I don't know. But yeah, when I walk into the other place, hey, how the Cats going on the weekend, mate? I'm like, bro, no good, man. How the Blues going? It's a bit of banter. And that's what Shorty needs in life. So just thought I'd put that out there. It does matter, mate. It's not all about the food quality, guys. You just got to have a bit of that banter when you walk in. Like, you don't get that as much these days, But let's take a look at these teams. I'm all figured out with my plan. Just no one muck me around with these teams, please. I'm feeling good with these trades. So I'll talk about my trades in a sec, but just no carnage. And Paddy Dow still can't get a go. Shit. It's all over for Paddy. Chincotta comes back, which will help a few of you guys out there. Nothing too much there from the D's. Obviously, James Sicily, we knew. Nothing too much there. The Cats, yeah, nothing too much. Obviously, Radical Lear is a trade for many people. I think Eddie Ford will be a popular one. Trelaw comes back. Be interesting to see how that affects Bailey Smith, Jack McRae. And then we have, we move into your Saturday night game. Nothing too much going on there. And then Sunday is just 2 of them. Minimal action there, but that is concerning. Matty Flynn comes into the side. That is not what we want. So if he is named, I won't be starting Kieran Briggs. Or will I? Don't know. It's not ideal. He will make a shitload of cash nonetheless. I don't know. I'll sit on that. Might have to catch a GWS press conference. And then again, Sunday teams. Hard to know. There's not Taron Thomas. That's interesting. But, let me show you the trades I made this week. And I've got your questions down here from the live sesh, which I'll go through in a moment. Basically, into my team was Briggs, Ford, and McRae. And out of the team went Atkins. I can barely remember. Who was it? Because I moved Zeeble back. Traded Atkins. Oh, yep. Traded McVee. Yep, cool. And who else did I trade? I can't fucking remember. Briggs. Ford came in. McRae came in. And that was for McVee, Atkins. fucked if I know. You guys are probably sitting there saying, Shorty, it's clear and obvious, mate. You know, you had this bloke last time, whatever. Can't even remember. I could probably check somewhere. You know, I haven't done this for ages, but where is your actual trade history? Oh, here it is, along the side. We're going to have to adjust the screen here. Well, there's Shorty's favourites. Let's see what we can do here. Oh, Wilmot. Yeah, nice. So Wilmot had obviously done his dash. Comes in with the buy. So, yeah, it just made pretty clear-cut sense to me. So, yeah, I feel all right. Like, it's just a matter of getting through the buys. What do we got? 1-0 there. 1 in the midfield. 2 in the midfield. So that's 3. And we're all guns blazing in that forward line. So 19 gives me a bit of a buffer for a bad score here and there to just get cancelled out. So I'm happy with that. Let's, how are we traveling for time? Let's catch a look at some of these comments. O'Sheen Mullin was a big one, big talking point. People saying, Shorty, you're a Cats man. What's his job security like? Blah, blah, blah. Not good. So if you need someone to just come in this week and fill up your 18th spot on the field, you know, you need someone desperately, then that's all right. He can do the job. He might even get you 70. I don't know. But his job security's crap. Duncan will come back. There's other blokes, like you all know the names. There's Cats players on the fringe, surely coming back soon enough. So not good job security, but in the short term, it might just save you for a bye week or two. Briggs, obviously it makes me a little bit nervous seeing Flynn into that squad. Doesn't mean he's going to play. I mean, it just fills you with a bit of uncertainty. I mean, does Flynn play? If he does, is he then the number one ruck? Why would you change Briggs out of the number one ruck? He's been going so well. Is it a 50-50 split? Does Flynn come in and somehow do the bulk of the ruck work? Like, I would say they'd be rewarding Briggs. Maybe I was a bit too rash with my initial comment. I'm probably going to keep Briggs in there just because the break-even's fantastic. And surely they wouldn't change him, at least in the short term, from the role he's been doing because he's been doing it so well. We can cross that bridge when we get there, though, because Flynn isn't even named. In terms of McRae, I think he's a big lock for mine. A lot of people sort of talking about, the buy's no good, and, you know, what about when Trelaw comes back? I don't know. I mean, looking at the forward line, we didn't get Petrarca, we didn't get Walsh, we didn't get Gawn, and almost what we didn't expect was we got McRae. And he's now got a break-even of 41, back-to-back 145s. His whole year's been okay. Yes, he's not the McRae of old 120 plus, but he's such a ball winner, such a ball magnet. I think he's going to average 105 no matter what. And in the forward line, that's fine. So in the midfield, all of a sudden we're like, oh shit, I don't know if he's still that keeper anymore. Gets that forward eligibility. It's a no-brainer. So if it's a no-brainer, at that price, you know, you're getting him cheaper than he was at the start of the year. You're about going to get him as cheap as you're going to. Of course, he floated around that 550 for a bit there. Now's the time. He'll be over 600k in a week or two. So I am more than happy to launch with McRae. He's in midfield at the moment, but I think he'll eventually land in that forward line and should do me quite nicely for the rest of the year. And then there was a bit of talk about how you go from Sean Darcy, who looks like he's going to miss certainly a week or two, which I think when we've got all these trades, I think it's fair enough to pull the trigger on him. So for me, I'd be trying to get in Marshall, English or Wits, just because I think that gives you no loss in terms of the point scoring ability from week to week. Another consideration could be you go Briggs, if you can't really fit him in any other way. That obviously means that you do expose Briggs to a bit more game time or on-field time. You know, I know he's covering Marshall nicely there for me. In an ideal world without buys, he's just R3, no damage done. If you do go all the way down to Darcy, then it does maybe leave you a little bit like, shit, I hope he performs kind of thing. If you really love Sean Darcy, he obviously scored 39. Maybe you bring in Briggs. Darcy comes back in a week or two. Briggs gets 3 or 4 price rises. Darcy gets 2 decreases in price, as he will. And maybe you can just do that straight swap in like a month. That could be like a bit of a buy low, sell high kind of operation. Darcy Cameron is also someone to think about when we're talking ruck and then forward eligibility. Happy to wait on him a week. I think if he can just ton up for me, then it's fine. He did look a lot better last week. Still couldn't quite break 90, but it takes a bit for the big fellas to get back into business. So taking his time, I think he'll be all right. I see him averaging 95, and as a forward, gives you that ruck flexibility. I think there'll be a time later in the year where Marshall or English or Witts gets rested. So I feel as if it's going to be handy to have, because we might not have a heap of trades to be able to just accommodate that one. Cripps, trade or hold? It's a hold for mine. The reason being is not only is he out of form, but he's out of cash, mate. Like, if you're going to trade him, you got to trade when there's currency. And all of a sudden, he's had quite a number of decreases in price. A lot of people's options are sort of like Degoe or someone else. Like, you had to pull the trigger after you went like 83 and 60 or 87. Like, now all of a sudden he's down to 497. Like, no currency to work with. When it's like, okay, I can trade Degoe in for Cripps. I reckon Cripps has every chance to still out average Degoe from here. Unless there's a niggling injury. I know he had that concern late in the game last week, but I'm also talking about, is there an injury over the last month that is meaning he's struggling? I don't know, because round 6 and 7 he was flying. We were talking about shit, getting Cripps, and a few of his did. But so I'd hold him. The only reason I would trade him is if you had 70 or 80k and you could do something decent to, some of those guys who are around that 580 plus range, and they're actually premiums. You can actually trust them. I don't really trust Degoe that much, even though he is having a good season. And then we talk about Jake Lloyd, I think was the last one. He's solid. There's a bit of talk about Ridley, Lloyd. They're both solid options. They're both playing good footy in the last 2-3 weeks. I just don't think they've got that consistent ceiling. I think more or less their average sits in the low 90s. Lloyd's probably doing a bit better than I thought. So, look, I'm really happy with my backline, to be honest. These are the guys, without pumping my tyres up too much, these are the guys I think that are the ones you need, like Sicily, Sinclair, Dacos, Stewart, Dawson. And then maybe your sixth one can be a Ridley or a Lloyd, but I'd almost prefer it to be a Zeeble or a Luke Ryan, or, you know what I mean? Just not guys that have really got me too enthused about selecting them. So, good prices, don't get me wrong. Ridley will make you some good cash too in the meantime. So even if it doesn't come through with the absolute goods, you can certainly get a bit of cash out of it as well. So he has that added bonus. And a few people were asking on the live too, how many trades should I have left, Shorty? How many trades do you have, mate? Like, it doesn't really matter how many trades you have on the actual number. What matters is how many trades do you have left in relation to how many upgrades do you need to do. People can be like, oh, I got 8 trades, mate, flying. Or 14 trades. Well, yeah, yeah, and where's the context, bro? Like, you can have 8 trades and need to do 3 upgrades, you're fucked. You can have 10 trades, need to do 2 upgrades, you're doing way better. So I've got 9 trades left, and I think the back line's fine. The midfield, it's a bit scattered because there's forwards in the midfield, but I could put those 2 on, and in theory that is complete. So theoretically, I need 3 upgrades, whether they're midfielders or forwards, whatever. We got dual position, but in theory, 3 upgrades, 150k in the bank. So in essence, I've already got a downgrade. The golden rule is I think you need to have a complete premium team with 4 or 5 trades left. So I'm fairly happy. I think I'll be able to do those other 3 upgrades with 4 or 5 trades, given the cash in the bank there. So I think I'll have a completed side with about 4 trades left, which I'm more than happy with. So that's what you got to try and base it against, not just the pure number. And in terms of my VC and C, going to back in Dacos and I think Bontempelli. Cats midfield really struggling. So yeah, Bont is super reliable, and just didn't want to roll the dice with someone else on the C. I feel like Dacos, he's always capable of a big one. Hasn't been quite as red hot, but still think he's every chance to do what he pleases against the Eagles. So that's a wrap for me. I'm going to, probably kick back for the rest of the night, chuck this into the old editing system, get it rolling, and do my TikTok with the trades, and call it a night. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for everyone who's tuned into the live session as well on Wednesday. Always good fun. So I'll chat to you on Sunday night. Cheers, guys.